guys? Cheers. Lovely to be here. It's nice to be back in familiar surroundings. I've fairly recently come back from Australia. I am aware with my voice it does scream a little bit, ooh, rah, gap you with Bonty. It wasn't really like that for me. I actually worked in construction for most of it, and the highlight for me was I once caught on fire and my mate had to spit on me to put it out. Genuinely, he had, they call it a camel pack, which shouldn't be confused with a camel toe in any way. It's a device where you suck through a straw that goes over your shoulder, and there was no other liquid around, so that was the only option. But at least it did answer the question, would you spit on your mate to put him out? Thankfully, he was a yes. I didn't mind construction. I did a couple of jobs while I was over there. I also worked for a company called Bedshed, and their motto was no one's better in the bedroom. Don't want to know about that interview. I enjoyed the job on the whole. It was quite interesting going in and out of people's houses, and I'm pretty nosy, so I quite liked it. But at points it was a bit strange because sometimes there's a bit of a language barrier and it's a bit weird, like you're going through the most intimate part of people's houses. We once had this delivery to a German household, and the mum met us in the door, and in quite broken English she sort of explained roughly that it was down one corridor. It was a really big house and it was just a single mattress, so it should have been quite easy. But my mate and I kind of like fumbled through this house, opening doors and closing them and all that kind of stuff. And we got to this one room where we saw that there was an empty single bed, so we thought it'd be quite straightforward to chuck it on. And it was a child's bedroom, and we thought it'd be fairly straightforward, and so did the little girl who it turned out was in the room. It's a weird feeling. My mate went in first and he tripped over a toy, and I'm fairly familiar with stranger danger, but previously I've always been on the right side of it. And I prefer being a victim. It's not a nice feeling, and he was quite a big fella, so when he hit the ground he made quite the loud noise, and I thought that would be the loudest noise I heard. Nah, her scream. I felt like I was in Monsters Inc. It's a really strange feeling as well when there's a language barrier. Like, what do you do? All I can say is Ich heiße Owen, and I can name a bunch of German football teams. That doesn't really help anything. All I'm saying is my name's Owen, and then accidentally maybe naming her hometown. How creepy would you find that as a kid? It would be really odd if a stranger just said where you were from and their name. It'd feel premeditated, surely. I didn't really enjoy it. Like, we chucked the mattress on and then sort of ran out of the room, and that's a weird feeling because you just feel suspicious. Like, I felt awful because she was so like sad and scared. Like, you emotionally feel terrible. It was right up there with finding out my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend was nicknamed Horse. He didn't have a long face either. Awful on so many levels. I really didn't enjoy that, but it's nice to be back home, and it's been cool that I arrived back at the start of November last year, and November is one of my favourite months because Movember is in full swing. Yeah, like, it's cool, you can grow a mustache and no one can give you shit for it. Because if they do, you can just swing on them and be like, I think men's mental health is really important. Anything we can do to highlight it is great. Plus, I love looking Mexican. Oh, the Mexicans are so cool. But it is a weird one coming back when it's really cold, because it's at the end of the year where the weather's getting nice and warm in Australia and annoyingly cold here. I'm wearing flip-flops and shorts everywhere, to now so many layers I'm more tucked in than a drag queen. Yeah, it's been fun coming back though. It's nice, like, I'm from a fairly small town, and it's nice, like, you have familiar surroundings all the time, which means you bump into people quite a lot. It's nice being near family, but sometimes you see people where you don't want to. I'm going to start this by saying I think strip clubs are an awful place. I really believe they are. However, every so often I tragically find myself there, stood within a beer and an erection next to other losers. And it's not the place you want to see anyone, and I saw my brother there. Like, what do? You've got to say something. You make that awkward eye contact and it's like, how are you? Yeah, great, nice. Dancers are beautiful, yep. What do you say after that? how long are you working till tonight? He asked me what mum had made for dinner. Like, I felt like a loser, and it was nice though, because I don't know, every so often it's fun to see a familiar face, but not quite there. And it was cool. Like, I live with my older brother, but also got a younger brother as well, and that's quite nice because you can try and like learn things and then teach the next generation. And I'm not always the best older brother. Like, he thought we lived in a terraced house. And I took far too long to tell him it was a terrace. Poor kid, he's not the brightest. He's the kind of fellow that will chase the cheese on a margarita. Now, maybe you guys know how to do it. Like, I'm a pro, like, you just fold it and it's sweet. It's free calzone. But he's not the brightest, so he really struggled with it. And I did try and help him, but it's not always the easiest, and I quite often get it wrong. We had a bit of a family crisis over the new year, and it wasn't the easiest. My grandfather sadly passed away last year with prostate cancer, and then my uncle and dad both got diagnosed with it. It's obviously a massive pain in the arse. You don't want to go through that as a family. You don't want to go through that as a family, but also as the middle brother, you want to say something nice because you want to try and get everyone through it. But all I could think was, I fucking hope they get it and I don't. Yeah. The younger brother thought our sister might get it. Not all there. But it has been fun being back. What am I off time? Sorry. Oh no, shit. And it's been good on the whole. But it's been strange. I met a girl in Australia, and it was going quite well. And then she came over to England, and sadly wasn't really feeling it. And we broke up around the same time that I injured my wrist playing table football. I know, it's awful. And the last like month or so have been crap because I miss playing table football so much. What a sport it is, but such a tragic way to hurt your wrist. But I don't know, I thought we were really great. Like, we were together for a little while, and but if she couldn't hack the cold weather, maybe being in England wasn't the right decision for us. But on the whole, the relationship was great, but I don't know, every so often I'd say the wrong thing. Like, we were once at a family funeral for her, and I learned the hard way that knock-knock jokes on a coffin aren't always the best thing to do. Open casket, leaning in and going, certainly wasn't deodorant that killed her. It wasn't. No, she didn't find it as funny. Neither did her family, the bloody squares. But yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, at one point I was driving along and we saw an Uber driver on one of those electric scooters, which you can go weirdly fast on, and he stacked it, hit a pothole, and like fell really badly. And when that happened, I saw it, and my instant thought was like, oh, poor bloke, you felt awful for him. And she just looked at him and went, I'd be livid if that was your order. God forbid some pepperonis out of place, eh, love? But yeah, I don't know. It was strange. Like, it was never gonna work. I can't replace horse. Yeah, what am I off time? 8:55. Right. Okay. I really want to end on a nice note, but the lovely part is when you can't remember what you're saying. It's good being in Ipswich. I'm a local boy. I'm from Norwich. Yeah. You happen to be born 45 minutes away from me. But it's funny, like, all that, is it north-south banter? I don't know, sort of East Anglia north-south banter. And sometimes it's a bit strange. And I told a joke about inbreeding, which goes down quite well in Australia, and it's nicer when you know no one knows you in Norwich. It's a bit weird when you do it in public. And my girlfriend my sister didn't mind the joke, but her boyfriend didn't. Okay, that's my time. Thank you guys. Up and over. Cheers.